Hey, hello, everyone watching. So I wrote a post last night called "The Older I Get." Um, I figured I'd get on here and do a video. Um, Not the same as the post. I'm not reading off a script. I'm not reading word for word from the post I made. Um, but I feel it's important to explain a bit about myself. Um, so I have an acquired brain injury. You kind of see the scar line right there. It goes all the way across my head. You can't see because there's hair. Well, you kind of can. And I'm not saying any of you doubt me, but you can see the scar. Um, so I'm not lying about that. And I also have a personality disorder. So I probably have borderline personality disorder. Um, I saw a neuropsych for 5 years, and not once was I told that I had a mood disorder. It might have been hinted at, or like, yeah, there's something there, but it was never one of those things where I got an official diagnosis from the professional, from the doctor. Um, how I know that is because, um, well, basically my mom has what I have. Um, and part of that I think is genetics. Part of it is just conditioning, the way that I grew up, how I was raised by my mom and my dad. Um, and I'm not saying my mom is a bad person. She's not. I'm not a bad person. I don't believe that. But that's why I'm on here, because I think a lot of people think that I am potentially a bad person, or that I'm a danger or a threat. It's not true. And it's not true for my mom either. I love my mom. Um, but I'm going to talk about myself from here on out for the rest of the video. Um, when I was younger, up until around the age of 30, I would basically get a pass from most oftentimes professors, um, early 20s, from my peers. We were young, right? I mean, we were all pretty much immature. So my mood disorder at that point was masked as immaturity. And the thing about mood disorders, for people that don't have a mood disorder or are not close to someone, be it a spouse, a family member, son, daughter, brother, mother, sister, father, uncle, well, uncles and aunts, maybe, I don't know, grandparent. Anyway, you get the point what I'm saying. Unless you're close with someone that has a mood disorder, or you yourself have a mood disorder, it's tough to really understand what a mood disorder is about. And I'm not a doctor, so I'm going to just give you what I know in layman's terms, because I'm a layman. What I do know is that when I turned 30, there was no forgiveness, really. Even in my late 20s was the case. Keep in mind that I'm 6'8", and I only mention that because when I seem intense or serious, or potentially am having a mental breakdown, if you will, a mini psychotic break, people get worried because I'm so large and I'm not a beanstalk. I'm a big guy. People fear for their lives because I am a weapon by myself. I don't need a knife or a firearm. My fists are fucking lethal, you know? Just plain and simple. And none of you have seen me in person, so it's hard for you to really understand what I'm saying. But beside the point, I think that I'm well spoken enough and articulate what I want to say enough with passion that it scares the shit out of people, even without seeing my size. Some of that may be my tattoos. My arms are basically covered in ink. I thought people would regard me as an artist, but they don't. They regard me as basically an outlaw. So I can't change that at this point. I mean, I could get my tattoos removed, but I'm not going to do that. That would cost another how many thousands of dollars, and I've heard getting tattoos removed is super painful. Plus, they never really fully fade all the way, They're still kind of there. You can still kind of see them. So I'm like, I don't think that's anything of interest to me. But getting back to the mood disorder thing. So it's one of those things, brain injury plus the mood disorder. So let me start with the brain injury. My brain injury, my right frontal lobe. 40% of my right frontal lobe is just scar tissue. So what does that mean? Well, again, in layman's terms, the right frontal lobe controls the inhibition center, like our inhibitions. What happens when any of us drink alcohol? We become disinhibited. It's a disinhibitor. Besides that, it's a depressant, which doesn't help with my depression either. But the point is that even without any alcohol, I'm already more disinhibited than the average person who doesn't have 40% of their right frontal lobe is scar tissue, who has a full working frontal lobe. I'm not saying that as an excuse, but the reason I've stayed away from alcohol and am doing my best not to drink at all, is because I'm in a better mental state. Well, I'm able to filter what I say more, versus just spouting off with whatever I'm passionate about. But even without the alcohol, it's like there's a disconnect in my brain, like short-circuiting, if you will. Something is short-circuited in my mind where I try to make sense of things, especially in social contexts, and I just can't fucking figure it out, no matter how hard I try and how many different ways I approach engagement with others socially. It's just gotten worse. The older I've gotten, it's just gotten worse and worse. So, at this point, I'm just kind of minding my own fucking business, to be honest. Every time I've tried to connect with people since like 2019, when I got back on social media, it's just been a shit show, man. And, I'm doing my best, but there's times where that's the mood disorder. That's what I'm trying to explain, is that the immaturity or the psycho babble, that's the mood disorder. That's not me. The mood disorder is part of me. It's part of who I am, but it's not who I am, really. And I know that's not a tangible concept to grasp, but if it was, we'd probably have a better understanding of mental illness. And, anyway, the main thing for me with where I've been at in my life for a while, based on circumstances and experiences, I've been out of the loop as far as having a social network, if you will. You know, I used to have a group of friends where we all knew each other. We didn't all go to a bar and hang out like Cheers, but we all fucking knew each other. And we all had other friends that were kind of like acquaintances, and we'd hit them up, see where the party was at, you know. But that all stopped when I went to Grand Canyon University. And it was probably a combination of things. I didn't have any of my... The only visible tattoos I had were the Alpha and Omega symbols, which is a fucking... specifically a Christian thing. I am the Alpha and I am the Omega. That's God. I'm pretty sure that's Jesus, actually, in Revelations who says that. But, you know, even that was like, whoa, this guy's got tattoos. I'm like, you see what they are, though? They're Christian related. You see that? Oh, no, still doesn't matter. You got ink on you. That's hardcore. Plus, I was 27. I think I had just turned 27 when I started to go to, when I was enrolled in classes for the first semester at GCU. And, you know, maybe it was also that I was heavily influenced by American realism, which is a secular literature, which has nothing to do with God or Jesus. God doesn't exist in secular literature. There is no God. So, maybe that came across a bit too. Anyway, I'm not blaming anybody, and that's another point here. I'm not here to accuse anybody or have some sort of self-righteous, vindictive sense about this video. No. It's no one's fault. It's not my fault either. It's just been fucked to shit for a while with my social life. When I graduated from GCU, I started to get tatted up, so I was hanging around the tattoo parlors a lot, and that was the crowd I kind of associated with. So I went from like sheltered Christian children to like semi like gray area criminal tattoo artists. And there was never any hardcore shit. We never hit the streets and fucked people up or anything. Like, the most rowdy it got was we drank at the barcade, you know, the video arcade that was also a bar. Outside of that, maybe smoke some weed here and there. It was never anything I was never involved with. If any of those people did anything, I didn't know about it, never was around it, so all the better. But I just, after that, it just went off. I was like wandering in the desert, basically. And I will say that I've, my one buddy Mike, I've known since 2018, and he's been a really awesome friend. He also has children, children whose lives he's very much a part of. They're still young adults, and he still wants to influence them in the best way possible as much as he can, while he still can. So I understand, but he's busy is the thing, which many of us are busy. And see, even with that, there's moments with my mood disorder and my brain injury. So again, it's a combination of the brain injury and the mood disorder where that pisses me off. Like I get all fucking emo. I get emotional about shit, and then I get snarky, and then I start pointing fingers. So I'm very much aware of how I've treated many of you. I don't know how many of you will watch this that have blocked me or I've blocked you. I'm not excusing my behavior. I'm here to apologize, but I can't tell you how many fucking times I've apologized for the same thing. So at some point, it's like, I don't know how much the apology matters to you. Because if it keeps happening, then it's like, well, he doesn't really mean it. Not true. I do mean it. I am sorry. And I do ask for forgiveness in the context you want to use for forgiveness. Doesn't have to be a Christian thing. Just let it go, you know? But man, it sucks. It really sucks because when I'm in those mood swings, those violent, intense, emotional mood swings, I don't realize at the time that I'm doing it that I'm pulling the same shit that always gets me fucked over until after, and then by then it's too late. You know, I've already done the damage I've done. I'm not giving up. That's why I wanted to do this video, because, well, shit, I can talk for a lot longer than I can type. Like, I can continuously talk for about 20 minutes without any problem. Got some coffee because my mouth is parched, but, yeah, I can't write for 20 minutes straight. Just, what does it be, like fucking 3,000 words? Just fucking typing it out. I love to write, but I got to mix it up, you know. I will be doing book reviews. I just wanted to get on here and try to explain the mood disorder, borderline personality disorder. I really don't know that much about borderline personality disorder. All I can say about what it seems to be is that I don't seem to really know who I am. I have issues with my identity. I don't know what my identity is. I think that's why I've always been such a fan of Johnny Depp as an actor, but also as a person. Because I think mentally he might have some similar stuff going on. You know, and that's all I'm going to say, because I don't know Johnny. I love you, Johnny Depp. You're a role model to me. I try to be more cool and collected in the public eye when I'm putting myself out in the public eye. But, man, it's tough. It's tough for me. But, shit, it's doable. So I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep fucking doing my best to finally figure out how to control the beast within, you know? I never read the Infinity Gauntlet, which is the Infinity Wars. Thanos and the Infinity Stones. So I'm guessing, though, that in the comic book, the graphic novel, the Hulk actually learns to control his Hulk when he is in Hulk form. Well, I'm trying to do that, too. I'm trying to be an amicable monster, you know? It's worth the fight. I miss healthy, organic, social connections, but I also have to reset what social connections are like as an adult. They're different. Things change. It's not the same as when we were teenagers or in our young 20s. It's just not the same. You know, I was basically deemed incompetent to be able to hold even a part-time job in a court of law by a judge. That doesn't seem to matter now to the government. It's like, nah, you're really not that disabled. Even though a fucking judge declared that I was. So my point with that is, and then I'll close up, that, you know, even if I am not able to work too much, I'm not going to talk smack about people who can work and do work. I'm sure it's a pain in the ass for everybody. I've read as much too, but I've tried numerous times. The only time that I ever held a couple jobs, 2 different jobs for longer than a month was when I was back in 2008, 2009. Actually, I think from the end of 2007 up until around the end of 2009. And I was 19, 20, and 21 years old. And again, things change, people change, dynamics change. I look different. I'm heavily tatted. My demeanor is different. I'm more serious. I'm more quiet, which at this point makes people uncomfortable. And I got to try to figure out what to do with that because, bottom line is it sucks just sitting around the house all fucking day by myself. I love my dogs. I am so grateful that my dogs are here with me, but I miss human interaction. And again, I realize until I can modify the emotional borderline personality disorder stuff, that it's just not going to work, which is a tough pill to swallow. It's a challenging concept to accept and embrace because the fact is, or the fact may be, I may never be able to do that, which means I may forever be this hermit type of guy. We'll see. I'm not, anything is possible. I wrote about that yesterday too. So I know this was pretty long, but I feel like I've been talking for the most part at a pretty good pace. I had good rhythm on this video. I felt confident. I'm sober, not drinking, so I can kind of gauge my voice and my everything. I'm more better when I'm sober. So anyway, that's about it. I might do one of these again down the road, but I will be back next time with a book to review because I love stories. I love people who create stories that interest me, and I love to share my passion for those stories. I love to share with the world, whoever wants to watch, why I loved a certain story, why I thought a certain novel or collection of short stories was just astounding. And that's good energy. I know that for sure. So again, for what it's worth, I am sorry if I've offended you or blocked you or pulled a wild card move, pulled some Joker shit where you're just like, what the fuck? Well, I'm blocked now? What the hell? What did I do? You didn't do anything. I'm trying to figure out how not to be so mentally ill. That's basically it. I'm trying to figure out how to be mentally healthy. And it's been very challenging doing this on my own, but so be it. If that's the only way that it's going to get done is on my own, then it's do or die, baby. And I'm not dying. Never say die. So have a great Sunday, everybody. See my tattoos. I mean, I'm not like fully sleeved, but damn near it. Damn fucking near it. Anyway, I will eventually. I just don't have any fucking money to get tattoos right now. So, peace out. Have a good one. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.